You're in a band, you've just recorded and mixed a great song, and now the next step is mastering. You know you have to get the mastering right because that's the final important step between your song and commercial success. So making the right choice is vital. How do you choose what to do, who to use, and what to spend? Many of our viewers will know that Mark is a seasoned mastering engineer who has worked with many of music's biggest artists. What is the driving factor that makes people come to Mark for mastering? Does he sound better than an automated service? Well, today we'll find out for sure. There are many options for online mastering, so we'll try out a few of them. In this video, we'll be using masters from Landr, Soundcloud, Cloudbounce, eMastered, Ozone9's mastering assistant, and of course a master done by Mark himself. Online mastering has been on the rise in recent years, with Landr being the first name that pops to mind when you mention the subject. But can it really compare? Can a few thousand lines of code and some artificial intelligence really sound as good as someone with 30 years experience in mastering other people's music? Or is that human element, the ability to feel the song and base our actions on what the music should sound like, rather than just analysing numbers on a database? To investigate, we decided to try it out for ourselves. Those of you who watched our 1176 compressor shootout a few months ago may remember the track we used. We asked 5 of the best musicians we know to record a track for us remotely. We'll play through that in a minute. Firstly, let's go to Mark and hear his thoughts on the track.
I've been meaning to compare what I do as a mastering engineer to some of the automated services for some time now, and when a client of mine told me that Soundcloud are offering their own automated service, I thought, now's the time. It's been probably 5 years since I listened to anything on SoundCloud. The compression codec certainly used to be fairly awful, and here's a tongue-in-cheek look of what the previous mastering process of uploading solely to SoundCloud definitely didn't used to look like. Take the original high-resolution WAV file, EQ out everything above 5 kHz and bounce out as the lowest quality MP3. Email that to your phone and record it from your phone back into the DAW using a dynamic microphone the wrong way round covered with a sock. Transfer the re-recorded file to a cassette tape that has previously been used at least 137 times. Tie the cassette tape to a brick and submerge in a lake for 5 days. After 5 days, remove the cassette and place in a washing machine on the hottest wash. Rinse and repeat. Microwave the cassette on full power for 45 minutes to dry out and add warmth. Remove the tape from the cassette and pass it slowly over a 15-inch speaker driver. Transfer to a 1/4-inch machine and re-record back into the DAW. Upload to SoundCloud. But how does it sound in 2020? Well, better, but still not as good as Apple Music or Spotify, but then the market is very different. Let's have a quick look at the mastering process if you're using SoundCloud's own service. Upload the track and then you're presented with 4 options for tonality: Thunder, Sunroof, Aurora and Clear Sky. There isn't an off option. If you don't want any of those, and if you bring the mastering intensity slider down to 0, the mastering process does nothing at all to the track. So for this example we chose Aurora, which seemed to be the most neutral, but still adding a crispy top end I personally didn't really want. Thunder was way too bassy, Sunroof boxy and Clear Sky too harsh in the top end, so it's kind of having to choose the best of the bad bunch. These options also rang alarm bells for me, in that people that send me mixes for mastering generally do so because I have loads of experience. I'm listening on an extremely high-end and full-range monitoring system, and with a lot of people mixing on less than ideal home near-field based systems these days, if they haven't got a clue what's going on below say 80 Hz because either their monitors won't reproduce it or their room is amplifying it, I have, and I can correct for it. My job isn't to add Thunder, Clear Sky or Aurora to their mixes. My job is to make sure that the mix translates well onto as many different playback systems as possible and provide the all-important second set of ears. It's quality control, and it's not about improving a sucky mix. If the mix sucks, it's my job to have a conversation with the client and work together towards a better mix that doesn't suck. It's of no value to me, and certainly of no value to them, to master an awful mix. If your mix sucks, SoundCloud and indeed none of the other automated services can tell you that. They can't offer feedback. So that's where, to my mind, the value of a proper mastering engineer comes in. The second thing I'd like to bring up is Apple Music Masters. Now, I'm an Apple certified engineer, and if I master your tracks, there is a really good chance that having that certification will increase your chances of appearing on featured playlists. And with so much music being released these days, that can make a huge difference between success or failure. None of the automated services, as far as I'm able to tell, can offer that. Anyway, if you want to see what I did to master the track in a future video, please let us know in the comments and we'll upload one for you. Over to James and Jamie now for the blind test. Let's hope I win, and if I don't, then, well, actually that's probably great, because I can rebuild my mastering business based on simply charging people to run their tracks through whatever service does win, add a healthy markup, and then I can do it at home on a laptop whilst watching Netflix, sell my monitors. Awesome.
Before we start, let's take a quick look at the services and what they offer. Landr.com offers varying subscription prices, with the cheapest at £6 per month and the most expensive at £39 a month. Interestingly, as well as paying a subscription, you also have to pay per master. This changes depending on your subscription, with the most expensive subscription offering unlimited free downloads on everything apart from HD WAV 24-bit files, which can be uploaded to digital platforms such as Spotify for £17.99 per track. The non-HD version is simply a 16-bit file, ideal for CD production. Check out our video on sample rate and bit depth if you want a deeper explanation of how that works. The link is in the description below. Soundcloud offers a 24-bit file for £4.99 a track, with an optional monthly subscription service for unlimited downloads. Cloudbounce's service gives a 24-bit WAV file for $9.90 a track, which equates to about £7.60. Cloudbounce also offers a monthly subscription with unlimited downloads. eMastered is overall the most expensive, with a £39 a month subscription as the only tier available, but it can be slightly cheaper on a yearly payment basis. This offers unlimited WAV file downloads at 24-bit. So what's the best way to compare all the possible options? We've taken it upon ourselves to do the hard work for you and test them all. Both myself and Jamie will be listening in a blind test to see which version of the master we think is best. Mark has bounced all of the tracks from the various mastering services, including his own, into randomly named files, and we'll listen to see which we think sounds the best. So on to the test. So, as I said in the intro, we've got Jamie here with me, and we're going to be having a listen through to the project that Mark has made. So as I say, these are completely blind tests. We've never seen these files with this particular naming order. It's just A to F. No idea what's what, and we're going to basically have a listen and see what sounds best. So just to kind of get our ears warmed up a bit, we'll just have a quick listen to the original file, the original mix, unmastered, and all that's been done to this is it's just been brought up to 0, or as near as possible to 0, using an adaptive limiter just to give it a fair comparison to the others. Also, this is just so if Jamie hasn't heard it before, or if you guys at home haven't heard this before, you can just hear what the original sounds like. So that was the original mix that we just heard. Let's have a quick listen through, just solo in between the files that, again, we don't know what order they are, and just see what sounds best. Right, straight away I can tell what the worst one is.
Yeah.
And straight away I think I can tell what the best one is. So let's move on to the louder section, like the chorus if you like, and see what we think of those.
Words come easy, tumbling from my lips in delight. Bright and breezy, every word a smile behind my eyes. You light a fire in my mind. Oh, I never get tired talking about you. Words come easy, tumbling from my lips in delight. Bright and breezy, every word a smile behind my eyes. You light a fire in my mind. Oh, I never get tired talking about you. Words come easy, tumbling from my lips in delight. Bright and breezy, every word a smile behind my eyes. You light a fire in my mind. Oh, I never get tired talking about you.
So I've got a fairly definitive opinion of what I think sounds best.
Okay, right.
Definitely what sounds worst.
Okay,
That's obvious,
right. Can you
but-
start? Can you go from the bottom up? Can you tell me what you think sounds worst?
Okay. Worst, I think, is F.
Okay,
It's
I completely agree.
tinny, horrible.
Yeah, I don't know where
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but wherever the algorithm is or whatever, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
B is next for me.
B is next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fifth worst.
What didn't you
sorry,
like? What
second
did-
worst.
What didn't you like about B?
It's not far off of F.
It's quite tinny, but it's not too tinny.
That's the thing. It's not as bad as F, but it's not as good as the other
Okay.
ones.
Okay. Cool.
So a little bit better. E next was slightly more full. Basically, in the
Yeah.
order I've put them, they're just slightly growing in fullness.
Going in, yeah,
and
in that low end, yeah.
kind of depth, punch, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then C,
You weren't a fan of C,
that's
so it's
Third
kind of going
highest.
up. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
third highest. Then A, and then D.
Do you quite liked A?
A second best, D best.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What-
Interesting.
What did you?
So my order, I think I might have left out E by mistake.
Ah,
But
brilliant.
so I go F at the bottom,
Yep.
and then for me, A was a little bit too hard on the compression.
Okay.
So that kind of it got compression taxed,
Yeah.
in my opinion, how much I liked it. And then it was B, and then probably E in there. They were kind of still quite bass light, and I was kind of like in that same kind of opinion as you. And then I didn't think I minded C. It had a kind of like a detail, but it was a bit too compressed still. But then
Yep.
D felt like it was the most kind of rocking.
That was your favourite.
Yeah, it was like the most kind of rocking in the low end, and it was kind of like, right, this is kind of giving me the most vibe. And as soon as that came on, I was like, right, that feels like it's
The one.
giving me the most flavour.
It's interesting that we both agree on the best one at least.
Yeah, definitely. And like the best and worst, and then kind of in between, I was like, well, I know what's best and worst, and like,
Yeah.
there's kind of flavours in the middle, but yeah, what was best and worst was very clear.
Okay. So I'm really excited to hear what was what.
I'm really, I can't.
I'm
I can't-
hoping that the one that was done by the human, Mark, is D.
Yeah, I hope so.
But
Mark
find out.
just goes, oh, it was F.
Big reveal.
Yeah, go for it. So we've got Mark, who is the only one who has ever seen this list in the order of what's what. So go
Yep.
and give it away.
So what was your bottom one?
F,
F.
for both, I think.
SoundCloud.
Hey!
Bearing in mind I haven't got a mic, so I'll talk like this.
Okay, F is SoundCloud.
Yep.
Did you agree on a fifth one?
Mine was B. I don't think you
Mine
missed a
was
letter out because you're a numpty.
mine was A. Then next.
Okay. B was the Ozone mastering assistant.
Okay.
A was Cloudbounce.
Okay.
Right.
C.
C was Landr.
Okay.
Interesting. So eMastered. What was that one? A,
Was-
I presume.
E
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
and D was my one.
Oh,
There you go.
So A is Cloudbounce, B is Ozone mastering assistant, C is Landr, D was me, E was eMastered, F was SoundCloud. So
Very
So the human
interesting.
wins.
yeah, so interestingly, I agree with you in that SoundCloud sounded the worst. My second worst was, I've left me out of it because I'm biased. So my first worst was SoundCloud. My second worst was the Ozone mastering assistant,
Right.
which I thought was largely useless.
Which was what letter?
B.
Okay.
And then eMastered, and then eMastered and Cloudbounce. I wasn't that bothered about either. In terms of the automated stuff, top for me was C, which was Landr.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's the same for me as well.
It was Landr, and then me at the top.
Obviously.
Who else? Yeah.
So that's an interesting insight.
Very interesting. Yeah.
In this case, the human wins. Although this could be entirely opinion based, so leave your opinion in the comments.
We could have fixed it.
We could have fixed
Yeah.
it. We can always put these files up for download as well, so you guys can drop it into your DAW and hear it for yourself without any kind of biased opinions. So yeah, in this case, the human wins. But again, it could depend on the song, could depend on what he's doing to it.
Yeah, I almost had a second thought about Landr and the sea, but I was like,
Right.
no, it was there was something just a bit more special about. It felt like it understood the song and the kind of the vibe of it more. I was like, no, it was definitely D for me.
Yeah, well, that's a really interesting insight. So
Yeah.
So I'll pay you.
yeah, thanks. Yeah,
I'll pay
that
you
didn't
later.
happen.
I haven't got any cash. And yeah, cool. I'll go away.
Bye. So yeah, that was a really interesting insight into how mastering can be affected by humans, can be affected by robots, essentially, or code. Leave your favourites in the comments, leave your order of preference in the comments, and we'll leave the files for download for you. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, share with your friends, your pet dog, etc. Ding the ding dong, and we will see you again in the next video. Oh, that is disgusting.
What? It's yellow at the front, brown at the back. That's just how I like them. Alan Parsons recorded Dark Side of the Moon in these very white fonts. Originally, it was going to be called Dark Side of the Pants.
Oh my god. I'm going home.